Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. I'd like to share with you a quick update. These panels and doors are from the 1981 Toyota Land Cruiser or FJ40. In our previous video, we shared with you where we used our hand tools, air tools, and aggressive sandpaper, and we were able to remove all of the previous paint and repairs with body filler and the old lacquer primer and the old lacquer paint. However, we didn't do around the window frames. We did all the main supports, and then we exposed a few of the areas. So since then, what we've done is we haven't ground this smooth yet, but as you recall in the previous video with the side panel, because we're changing this, the way the doors and the hatch are with this custom FJ40, we were able to remove or cut out these factory hinge plates. So in the previous video we shared with you where we had quite a bit of corrosion and damage, and you can see on the back side where those little plates that are threaded, they would rattle around and move around, and there's lots of corrosion in there. So what we did was quite simple. We've basically cut that out, and then we used the same thickness or gauge of steel that Toyota used back in '81. So now what we've done is we've welded in the new piece. We'll end up grinding this smooth, and then there'll be no evidence of any repairs done to it. So that was an important part to do. So this is the driver's side rear panel, and then as you come in here, you can see there is some corrosion. So once again, we cut that out, we welded in a new piece, and then we'll share with you what it looks like after once we grind all the welds smooth. And then you can see on the inside, this was all blue, and we've media blasted or sand blasted the whole inside, all of the curves. We were able to get into those sections, the top rail, as I mentioned earlier, around the window frames. We didn't want to sandblast these panels because there was a risk of warpage. And then you can see along the bottom, we have a majority of that sandblasted, and then we have air tools that we'll use to do the little grooves that we've missed and the body damage here. So we'll make sure it's all bare metal before we go on to the epoxy stage of sealing it. So that's the driver's side panel of the FJ40. And then we have the passenger side panel, so kind of boring, and I won't go through too many details with that. Same idea in the back. We cut out where that hinge plate was with that would rattle in time. The correct metal, once again, welded it smooth. And then same idea. We did some repairs inside to the bottom plate where it curls over. So in a previous video, we showed where we just welded it in, but there's still quite a bit of blue. So now that's all been sandblasted. So it's ready for some grinding and some getting preparation for that. So now that we have those sandblasted, our next step, we shared with you in the other video also with the doors. Now I have this door, this is the driver's door, and it's upside down. So in our previous video we had removed all of the paints and primers and body fillers. We talked about a couple of dents that were in here. We saw there were some pinholes on the outside that we know we're going to have to cut out and repair. And then on the inside, I'll just the camera to pick it up. So the inside of the bottom of the door, this is really common on the FJ40s. So you can see where there was a lot of body filler that was hiding a lot of this. So now that the body filler is removed, you can see where, kind of like Swiss cheese, it's very, very common on these sport utilities. So this is all rotted away, and then there's a fold over and spot welded from the factory. So we've been working on the passenger door after we sandblasted the whole inside of the door. The reason why we're able to sandblast the inside but not the outside is because of the structural rigidity. The contours and the ribbing gives this metal extra strength, and that's why we're able to blast around frame openings and into this structural area without doing any damage to the actual panel. So then we look at the passenger door. So the passenger door, which we showed in another video, same idea. We've got a bunch of pinholes on the outside, but we weren't sure. We knew there was body filler and all kinds of fun stuff on the inside. So I think the camera can pick that up. It shows all the fun welding we're going to have to do. And then this is what's in progress now. So if we just kind of compare for a moment, the camera can look on the driver's door here. Essentially, all of this kind of rust through or Swiss cheese kind of look was the same thing we had on the lower inside passenger door. So what we've done is we're in the process of fabricating. So we've made these patches. So the first thing you have to do is cut out or remove the rusted out sections, and then we made a pattern piece. You can see it has the correct ribbing and the style and the bend, and then across here is one solid piece. So we did it in two pieces, and so now that we have it all lined up, we've welded this piece in. You can see where we have, it'll be identical to what the factory did, and we have the same number of spot welds as the factory did, which is really important for rigidity and crash standards. So now that this is in, it looks kind of sloppy now being welded in place. Our next thing, we'll be replacing the outside, welding them both together, and then grinding them all smooth. When we have this repaired, it'll be all brand new metal, and that's quite a transition from going from all new metal to all kinds of rust through, because you can literally put like a pen or pencil all the way through from inside to outside. So lots of progress. It's going very, very well. So this is an update on the 1981 Toyota 4Runner, or sorry, FJ40 Land Cruiser. So I thank you for watching. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.